Hey everybody, it's Bust, Expedition Trial number 420. Go ahead and throw yourself out a hashtag blaze it for this one, and we'll jump in just a minute. And so yeah, if you're a longtime subscriber, you probably realize we just switched over to Magic Arena for the past 2 months. And I have kind of made the decision to come back to Runeterra. And the way I kind of look at it is it's kind of like Magic is like the classic muscle car from the 70s. It's fast and it looks cool and stuff, and it has a ton of history to it. But it turns out that, after like 20, 25 years of knowledge and improvement and gains, there's just better things out there. And so while Magic was, pretty cool and fun, I just kind of feel like, we can call Runeterra the new all electric Ford Mustang or something, and it actually has things like safety features and better miles per gallon and such. And it just kind of feels like Magic is fun. I still love the game and it's great, but ultimately it was just I was getting to the point where I just wasn't having that much fun doing it. It's just knowing that there's other things out there that were more fun, and they've been iterated on better. I love the resource systems that come out of the games like Runeterra and Hearthstone, to where you aren't playing with your resources in your deck. Really cuts out on a lot of the feels bad moments when you just can't play your cards. And I've also really just love Expedition. I mean, the format's great. I never feel like I've just really jumped into a draft that we can't fix through all of the trade picks. And so the way I kind of see this for the future is still plan on doing the 4 videos a week on YouTube. We're just going to switch those back over to Runeterra. We'll see, what the future of Expedition holds. I'm still not fully convinced that Riot plans on keeping it around forever. As I've kind of noticed in jumping in, it doesn't seem like they've really updated the format since I left, like 2 months ago or so. And so hopefully it's just a matter of them piecing together new teams, and it's not something that doesn't doesn't plan on getting updated or iterated on, and hopefully it doesn't just get axed. But either way of the outcome, we plan on being here for a while. And part of the reason I feel pretty good about coming back is we've started the Twitch streaming on the weekends, and that gives me kind of a place to where we aren't just doing a Runeterra expedition video every day of the week. And it gives me kind of the flexibility to do other things and kind of take a break from the lands of expedition without taking a full on break. Just something to do, a little bit of variety to break up the format in the event that it doesn't change for another 2 months or so. So, with all that aside, let's just go ahead and jump in on an expedition trial. That 7 winner you're seeing there on the left, that was that was a run that we did on Twitch. Surprisingly or not, Magic Arena was down on Sunday. The idea was to draft Arena on Sunday, and it was down all day. And so it's nice that Runeterra isn't doing that. Also, really love the live balance, or whatever they're calling it, in terms of cards changing over time and being iterated on. And so Hecarim, speaking of changes and being iterated on, Hecarim, I think he's back to his original form, right? The initial like release version of Hecarim was the 5/6 for 6. All the Spectral Riders would have been 3/2s though. So I guess he has he still has some amount of changes. But nonetheless, out of this pack, I guess I should say as well, I don't really intend on going and updating the Expedition Helper in the tier list. If you're familiar with the FTP Bus site, I did take down the Expedition Helper in the tier list maybe a week or two ago. I don't really intend on updating those ever again. If Riot gets in the habit of making the investment and keeping Expedition up to date, I'll return to making the investment and keeping the Expedition Helper in the tier list up to date. But without that investment from Riot, I'm not going to make that investment on my end. And so that would be kind of the give and take that we see there. Okay, but I think that covers everything. I think we're all good now. And so back to what's happening here. All of these champions are fine. Heimerdinger would definitely be the worst of them. If you want to take a Hecarim, you really need to be taking him in the first pack. It is kind of fun taking Hecarim with the Sand and Ashes and hoping to get together the Azir deck, but it can be a bit of a struggle. I very much prefer to not chase that down. It's a Azir build around and not a Hecarim build around. So we are going to swing over here and look at this Slayer's Nasus. If memory serves, trial number 419 was a Slayer's deck, but on the Kindred side. I can't remember if we had Nasus in that one or not, but I think it's a nice little continuation on of the expeditions if we just come in and draft Slayers. And so, yeah, kind of the big thing with this archetype. You're trying to get bonuses out of killing your opponent's units. You can see that Nasus grows whenever you see a Slay, and the way the Shurima does this is through challenges. And so all of the good challenger cards live here in the Shurima of this card pool. The Ruthless Predator is the worst, but you also get your access to what's his name, the Rockhopper, and then the various uncommons and such. So reasonable enough collection. We'll pick up those. And then what can we do with these? Always nice seeing Bandle City out here. this is quite the start with the Tristana with the Bandle Commando and the Buster Shot, but it's not like that super strong. It's really combat oriented. And a lot of value coming out of these Bandle City cards, but there's not a lot of Slayers combos. You could, very easily pick up the Thresh and have a lot of combos out of him. That's who I'm initially looking at here, is we could, piece together some of this Thresh Nasus combos. You have a bit of the Slay effects in the Chronicler of Ruin, but you are starting with a Dud and the Thorny Toad. Otherwise, I don't want to be playing Scargrounds. This card's just kind of garbagey. And I don't think the Tristana combos would really work out. I love me a Bandle Commando. This card is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't seem to really kind of line up with the meteor creatures that we would be looking for in the Slayer's archetype. So this is a fine enough card pool to double up on the factions. A lot of times, we'll look to completely avoid a faction to really focus in on a single archetype's card pool, but within the Slayer's archetype, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So say with this Slayer's pack, if we wanted it to be Shurima every time, then we wouldn't have taken Shadow Isles in the previous pack. But here, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But the Slayer's pack is where we're looking to be. The Thorny Toad, again, is a bit of a turd. Ascendant's Rise is the worst card in the game, and this just kind of the best of the worst that we have access to here. So, as we like to call out with the Slayer's archetype, at least on the Shurima or the Shadow Isle side of things, you really need to find some early game bros to be sacrificing to this stuff. You're looking for Hapless Aristocrat mainly as your target for Spirit Leech, but you're really trying to avoid these turns to where it's like turn 5, you don't have any dudes on the board, and then you have both like Astral Fox and Spirit Leech in your hand with nothing to sacrifice. Because it could be even worse, right? If you just have, say, Thresh on the board, and then you have these 2 dead cards in your hand because you don't want to kill off your Thresh. So we'll look towards that. We'll try to pick up some early game bros if we can here, but not a great start otherwise. I don't want to pick up Freylord. I still don't like playing 3 factions. The Hibernating Rock Bear is another real turd. And so it looks like we're stuck with the Buru Sentinel and the Withering Whale. We could look towards the kind of like fearsome version of this deck. It's not like fully fleshed out. The cards don't quite exist in the Nasus card pool just yet, but a lot of the Nasus cards do point towards fearsome. And so you see, they take his fearsome away? Didn't Nasus used to have fearsome? But some of the cards like, what's your name, Astral Fox, Buru Sentinel, the 1-cost Sentinel, a bunch of the cards out of Shurima all have fearsome, and then you can look to use something like Rite of Dominance to shrink your opponent's board and make all your dudes unblockable. So there are some combos like that we could look for here. This is a pretty weak start, though. I like to be much more aggressive with these style of decks, and it's just not quite coming together. Okay, well, another weak set here. We can immediately just get rid of Gluttony. This card is unplayable. I'm seeing like the Commander Ladros down here, but I don't think he'll be necessary. The way we typically build these decks to build around Nasus, we're just going to play 3 copies of Nasus, and then we just don't need any more expensive cards. And so Commander Ladros just doesn't really fit in here. I concede that he is the strongest card out of all 6 here, and I'm pretty sure I just turned him premium. I think I got some of those gem bags, and we made a premium Commander Ladros. But I'm going to just go with the Vengeance here. We're getting really stacked on Spirit Leeches. We need to find some of the early game half of this deck, but we'll try to fix that as the opportunity arises. Okay, well. Interesting set. We're going to ignore the Freylord. You could make a small argument that if we're going to be trying to play a bunch of fearsomes, that the likes of Rhymetusk Shaman and Flash Freeze would really help out with the fearsome themes. But I don't think that's where we need to be. My big concern here is our curve is just a hot mess. Not a lot we could do about it though. We're getting a 5-drop either way in these crumbles, or even the Rhymetusk Shaman if we wanted to look towards Freylord. But I'm going to go with the Wraith Collar here. The downside to looking towards the Wraith Collar is we do plan on picking up a couple more Nasus, and so that's going to guarantee that we have another 6 Shadow Isles card, or another 6 Shurima cards in our deck. So this Allegiance won't be super super reliable in the future, but I think it's still just strong enough to come in here and take. Right, another turd of a pack. At least we got a 3-drop in here. We already have the 1 Vengeance, which is fine. So we're going to get a Piercing Darkness either way. We'll take the Piercing Darkness with the Boohoo Sentinel. Oh my god, what is this? It's a 2-drop. I didn't think we were going to see any of these. But we got a 2 in the Stirred Spirits along with a removal spell, or the Vile Feast, which is technically a 2-drop. You can play this in the early game along with the Aether Fiend. I'm just going to go with the actual 2-drop here. Just try and pick up a little bit of something in the early game. And what do we think of Go Hard? I've been pretty unhappy with these in Expedition, but I mean, we should have the time to get these going. I think we could pull off a pack our bags at some point, and then it does have the Burgeoning Sentinel in here. But I think we just have to go with the Cursed Keeper. This is the first sacrificable unit we've seen up to this point in the draft. So I'm going to come in and snatch it up. We really need to be fixing the early part of our curve with the Hypos Aristocrats, Cursed Keepers, the likes of Fading Icon. It's coming back to me. It's been a couple months. And there's, I feel like there's one more that we're missing out on, but the Cursed Keeper is a premier target in this style of deck. Okay, yeah, we got to continue it on with the Fading Icon. Beautiful. Again, we're not going to be in a real Mistwraith build around. And then Piercing Darkness is a little expensive. These Shurima cards are pretty bad. Absolutely stoked to pick up the Fading Icon. Okay. What's this? First time you slay a unit with a spell, deal 2 to the Nexus. Not that great. Looking at the Sand Spinner, it's one of the more premier-ish 4-drops. It's just kind of the problem with our deck is our curve, and there's nothing here that lets us fix that. And so I don't think we want the Watcher at the Isles, and this would be our first combat trick in the Quicksand. So welcome to the squad, Sand Spinner. What else can we do? Got another 2-drop in Stirred Spirits. It's not that exciting, but if we do get stuck with something that says like generates saplings, then the Stirred Spirits plays a little bit better. But with these, like another real set of turds. I don't want Haunted Relics. I don't want Ricochets. And so I think we're just stuck in here with this Stirred Spirits. Hopefully we can just kind of like recover out of the early game a bit. We do have a lot of drain. Between the Piercing Darkness, we've got the Withering Whale. I thought we had like another dude with drain, so I think that's okay. But here, absolutely perfect. The Hapless Aristocrat and the Cursed Keeper, all aboard on that train. And the last one. Raz Bloodmane is kind of interesting. We didn't really land on too much of the fearsome themes, but he is incredibly powerful along with the way to search up our champions. I'm leaning towards this Raz here. He is, again, a little expensive. Nasus doesn't have fearsome anymore, but I think he could be okay. The other kind of thing here is I would really like to have picked up a Atrocity. Turns out Thresh Nasus with Atrocities is pretty cool, but we didn't see one in this draft. But I think this is fine. Like, we have the 2 Cursed Keepers, which plays quite well with the Rite of Calling, and so let's just go for the high-powered mode here in the Raz. And then our chance to get one of these turds out. This is tough. I don't think we ever get rid of the Quicksand. I think we just have like enough expensive stuff to where we don't really need to chase down draw 2s. And we also have 2 Spirit Leeches. So I think our deck is fine in those terms. Looking to just get rid of Thorny Toad. We've kind of fixed our 2-drop space. Just a little bit. I think we can get rid of him. We'll pick up the Predator. It's not the premier way to go about your Challenger slays, but it gives us at least a bit of early interactivity. And all right, the things everyone has been missing, the part that everyone knows and loves. We gotta go and turn something premium. So what do we have access to here? I don't think there's gonna be any commons. If memory serves, I think we're pretty full on a lot of these commons. Let me see. Turns out there's some spells. None of these Garbos made our deck. How about the landmarks? Nope, we got to go up into the rare space. We could just do this, right? We can just go up and do a champion. Let me see. Do we have the gems for this? 600. Oh yeah, we got the coins for that. If you're gonna make your way back in, why not just go the whole way and see if we can't level up a champion? Looks like Thresh is already leveled up. Is that right? Or not Thresh, Nasus. He's the one we're going to be building towards. Do I just we must already have Nasus, right? I can't tell how these filters work. Owned. There we go. There he is. All right, so this is just going to be a Thresh upgrade. I feel it. I feel it. How do we do this? Oh, he's got skins and stuff as well. I'm not familiar with this little thing. That's all right. I like to kick it old school. Keep the original picks. Turn them all shiny on the borders. And let's get to it. So yeah, it's not the strongest of drafts, but I feel like we can just manage with a few trade picks. If we can just drop our curve down a little bit, then we'll be looking reasonably strong. So yeah, I'd like to pick up an atrocity, drop our curve just a little bit. Our removal's good, and I think we're ready to roll. We picked up a 1. That's kind of the big thing is making sure we have something to do before turn 3. May be our only thing to do before turn 3, but we can get a little aggressive with our Ruthless Predator if we need to. Then we have this very expensive collection of cards we could start dropping on 4. But it's a reasonable collection of things to come out and recover with. Let's see if they do anything. If he plays like a reasonable 2, we can like Ruthless Predator it down. I think I like this. This way, if we don't have like any plays whatsoever next turn, and we just get to bank the 3 into turn 4, it's not like we've lost out on any mana. And then we still have the dude to sacrifice here. So yeah, looks good. Ooh, and no plays from opponent. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, all right. It's like I'm kind of looking at the Spirit Leech just to ensure that we can take down the token, but I'm gonna say we're getting just too much value out of these Wraith Collars if we can drop it here. Sure. This collar's still a good attack. Happy enough to trade off for any of these units. Them's the values everybody's talking about. Good deal. Withering Whale and the old Buru. Sure thing. If he plays another 1 health, we're looking pretty big here. Shatter? Absolutely. Nice 2-for-1 we got out of Wraith Collar. And then we just need time. I don't think he's ever going to be able to outvalue us here. He can, drop some big boys. He is playing Freylord, but if I think this is just going to be one of these games where if we don't lose, we'll win. Now, the unfortunate thing here is we don't have 2 units we can drop on the board. We can't just drop Nasus, I guess, but I'd really like to have been able to play like a 2 and a 4 or 2 3s or something instead of just our big boy. And Jarvan. Not bad, dude. Go ahead and get that out of here, though. Nobody wants to be seeing that. All right, then are we ever going to just like get him real good with this this Withering Whale? Ooh, Piercing Darkness is big time though. Let's make it look like we're going to do something. Let's drop the Stirred Spirits, give them a chance to spend some of this mana, and then we'll try to Piercing Darkness down the Alpha Wild Claw. We'll have a big old Buru after that. Seems like he's not up for these shenanigans, but this only does 5, doesn't it? This is a little short, isn't it? That's okay. We'll still have good attacks in the back here. I don't like that. Let's just let him eat all that mana. We can try to Withering Wail these down now. Let's be real. This feels much better. Do still want to throw down a block. If he has like a Fury of the North or something, I want to be able to take one of those units down. But looks good otherwise. Let's just wait. If he sends it back, he sends it back. Right, that's at least a reasonable target for our Sand Spinner now. I think we're going to get the big blow up with this Withering Wail. Boom boom. That looks pretty good, right? I think so. I think so. Catalyst to the Aeons. That doesn't do anything. There's our 10 attack Nasus. Couldn't kill the dragon off, but looking pretty strong outside of that. Raz is going to do his thing here. 3 heads and 1 stomach. That means a lot of eating. You got it. They turn him into 7/7? Interesting. And why is he flash freezing our sand main instead of our Nasus? Okay, that makes sense, I guess. We can still attack with Raz and give his team -2 attack. Our attacks don't stop being good here. We can get a point of damage in with Nasus as well. So I think we're running to do something like this, Raz, and Nasus. His blocks with the War Chefs are meaningless. And then we'll get in at least 2 points of damage here. Looks good though, doesn't it? Looks good. Got to do some of that card draw thing. Enjoy, friend, enjoy. We'll just put down our biggest stats. Tortured Prodigy looking good. Okay, so let's hit with Nasus on the left. He can shrink all of his bros after this. Everything else can go to the right. Right, so he's going to flip on this hit and then give the enemies -1. Oh, he was going to have Fearsome on the back. He has to hit before he gets the Fearsome, though. Okay, he was never going to get in unblocked here. We still lethal. -1. Got it. Nice work. Okay, let's see how we can improve here. Just going to take the Nasus stack. Hopefully it's got cool cards in it. Hopefully they all don't cost 6 mana. So, let's see. Not really interested in Glimpse Beyond or Spirit Leech, but I am pretty interested in adding in Nasus. He's so good in this deck, and then his flip is incredibly good as well. So, not today, old Kindred. This is going to be our Nasus build around. Boom. All right, on to the next one. See if we can't get that old 14 winner out of this expedition. I believe in us. Lee Sin and some Yordles, sure. I've always been interested in Lee Sin with Bandle City with the 1-cost Yordle Scout thing that makes makes the sword or the shield. I don't think I ever got to do that. It's something we'll have to try to piece together in the future. Ugh. But reasonable enough start. We got some dudes to sacrifice off. We got some interactivity. I'm excited. Jay Sonny doesn't know what's about to hit him with all these all these premiums. I think we just go with the fading icon here. I could see a world where we play the Cursed Keeper, but without the mana to use the Ruthless Predator, just doesn't feel super worth. We can still look to have like a big turn next attack token where we play the Cursed Keeper next turn, bank up 2 spell mana, and then on the following turn do something with the Bakai Sandspinner. So we get 2 vulnerable attacks in. We get to kill off our Cursed Keeper, hopefully annihilate our opponent's board for some real feels good min moments. All right, a wonderful target for our Bakai Sandspinner. Gladly take that bro down. You got us. 18 it is. Here comes bro, about to get wrecked. That's right. Am I right? Let's get him. He's like, he's got to play something, right? Give an ally 2-0, vulnerable. Here comes the squad. It's not even that bad if he has a combat trick. I don't care to lose any of these units, and his board's not that good. Missed out on the old allegiance as well. I remember what this stuff does. It's coming back to me. Oh, friend. That's gotta be painful. But Wraith Callers, while we did just add 3 Sharma cards to our deck, it is premium, and so that should at least give us a few more percentage points to hit on the Mist Wraith. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Should be at least like 10% more likely to hit by making the Wraith Caller premium. You heard it here. It's pay to win. That's the way it is. The way it is out here in Runeterra. Sure. And so, I mean, do we want to take it a little easy here? I don't think so. I think we're good to just like slam down this Tortured Prodigy, and then if he wants to say like attack, and we get to trade into the Fist of the Dragon, we can Black Spear after the fact. It seems nice. We got tons of mana here. We're not going to get a spell slay for the Buru Sentinel, unfortunately, but we can look to do that post-combat. So I think we can just go ahead and come in here and slam. I think if he kills our Tortured Prodigy, we still get the mana, right? Well, we should have just attacked with it on the right to be sure. But I have to imagine adding double Buru Sentinel here and then getting a Black Spear. That will be pretty valuable. Oh, Poppy. Not your day. Not your day. Stick to constructed. Where does this even coming from? Oh, it was up here. Okay, that was one of the other Bandle City champions. So it's a little unfortunate we don't get double Sentinels before he tries to heal this Poppy, but well, I don't think we're ever losing this game anyways, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna bank this mana now that we can't get the second big boy down. Just see if we can't switch into using Mist Wraiths. Alright, we do lots of cool stuff here. Might even get a big fearsome attack in next turn. We hit, of course. I told you all how that works. I don't think we need to go for it. We could look to just like, oh yeah, we can do this. We can quicksand his 3/3 to help the rest of our fearsomes get through. I dig it. I dig it. This is what Thresh or this is what Nasus is supposed to be all about, right? We got to wait for another expansion or two before we can do the big fearsome things, but that's the idea. Have these rando fearsomes give our opponents neg attack and get these big bashes in. Okay. Can't imagine that that's relevant. This is like neg 2. Boomed him. Oof. That's the stuff right there. Oh, right. What do we got? Can't play Unworthy. Just a little unfortunate out here in Expedition Land. Just no consistent ways to activate that big removal spell. Otherwise, I don't think we want Rite of Calling. We do still have this massive amount of 4-drops. We have 9 4-drops. And so Sandcrafter for Rite of Calling could be acceptable. We do have 4 sacrificable bros. We're usually looking for like 5 or 6, but 4 is serviceable. So I don't feel like we need to swap out the Buru Sentinel just to pick up a Hapless Aristocrat, because I would actually like to be trading away some of this stuff. We aren't like the big Kindred-style Slayers where we have a bunch of like Crumbles and Ether Fiends and stuff like that. And so it's not like super important, but we are coming out here and like adding Rite of Callings. And so I think this is the one we want. We'll have to try to keep a watch out to pick up some of these additional sacrificable bros, but I think we're still in a good spot without picking up the Hapless Aristocrat. Maybe we can get one more. I mean, he's the premier one. That's the one that we like really want. But all right, Poppy Zed. What are we playing? Are we playing Constructed out here today? Seems to be the case. All right, let's see if we can't find an answer to Zed. We could have technically kept the Piercing Light just to be safe, but not quite worth. I don't think. So it's a little dangerous. But this is kind of like exactly why I was like looking to switch back to Runeterra from Magic. It's like this is what a getting mana screwed would look like in Magic, but it's like we're not just out of the game, right? We have a few more draws at getting guys. We just picked up the Sentinel so we can play him on turn 3, but it just never. It reminds me like ages ago, Wizards kind of realized playing against land destruction and playing against discard just wasn't fun, and so they really like quit printing land destruction, or if they printed it, they made it cost like 4 or 5 mana, or they would make it be like very context specific, so you would have something that like only destroys a non-basic land. And then the discard became very targeted as well. So things like Duress were okay, but things of like Hymn to Torak were not. It's just like those are the games that weren't fun, but they still couldn't just do away with having games to where you just didn't draw land or you only drew one specific color of land. And so it was a bit unfortunate they never really found a way around that as to where Runeterra just does it naturally. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm glad to be back at it out here, but nonetheless, let's see what we can do. The plan here is I just want to get this Buru Sentinel in for a trade, and then we need to get a dude on board. So that dude's going to be Chronicler of Ruin. Sucks we can't get a little bit more value out of this, but the heal is still reasonable on this board when we're getting beat down by these impact bros. All right. There's our Nasus. These Rite of Callings are just going to do stone nothing this game. At least Thresh looks decent here. If he wants to start making these big attacks, oh fuck. It's a very real chance that we could level up this Thresh. We're probably just dead now, though. This Poppy's going to be bonkers. What's the best we can do? We're going to lose a 3-3. So I'd rather lose you. Rather lose the Chronicler of Ruin. We just dead. We fall to 1. Still have our Thresh, though. Okay, good as it's going to get. Alright, we need some good ones. This will be a good turn for a Piercing Light. Crumble doesn't quite do it. We're just going to die to the impact if we don't have a way to gain health. So let's Spirit Leech off this guy. Quicksand can buy us some time next turn. The hook onto the Bandle Commando. And then we can play the Fading Icon after the fact. I'm pretty sure that we're just dead in this game, but we've at least got some time and some outs here. Trick. What? Syncopate? Okay, sure thing. We were still in it though. That's all that matters these days. And I do love getting to make these trade picks as well. It's so bad when you would just have like a bad draft and you knew you had to play a whole tournament with just a turd. But you know, so many. Oh, I love Expedition so much. This is so well done. I really wish it was more popular out there in the real world. But here, you know, we get to trade out the Astral Fox for a Grasp of the Undying. I would rather be getting rid of the likes of Wraithcaller and Speared Leeches and Tortured Prodigy, but we aren't quite given those options. The Mist Call is not a card our deck is really looking for. So we're hurting for a little bit of removal, and the Drain is fine. This is most certainly a... it's not really a control deck. It's more of like a mid-rangey deck, but we really need to, you know, buy the time for Nasus to get to doing his thing, and the Grasp will help with that. Okay, on to the next one. See if we can't survive this one. we did better than 0 wins, and we did better than 1 wins in our glorious return to Expedition, and so I'm happy with that at least. Not bad, not bad. Who we got here? Zillion Jarvan, but with 2 copies of Zillion. Interesting. I guess we've done that a few times. I mean, what's his name? Zillion can kind of hold his own in the early game, and Jarvan's a bit expensive. But I would definitely expect the challengers coming out of this deck. Coming at you. Here comes the Aristocrat. Sure. Is the old Shyvana still on the full the full appearance bonus from before, where she used to be at the Malefic Descent and Relic Trackers being on the bonus. Anywho, this is okay. I figure he'll probably pretty aggressively get rid of the Zillion. He doesn't really do much on his own. So he typically comes down, tries to drop a time bomb, and then skips on. But that's a pretty quick time bomb, my man. Pretty quick. But we get the free hooks on the Zillion now. Our attacks are looking like they should be pretty strong as well. Xenotype researchers. Okay. We'll just swing in like this. I want to keep our Spiderling alive. I mean, we've got a Crumble in hand. This is a beautiful trade with the researchers. If he has a combat trick here, I'm happy with that as well. Oh, friend. That does not seem good for you. Does not seem good. Ready for this Thresh Raz combo where we get to weaken up the units before we challenge them. Alright, Premium Thresh, you saw it here first. Nobody else has crafted one. Oh, that's kind of lame. We'll lose our Spiderling. Oh, what a lame-o. But alright, we got the Black Spear. The Buru Sentinel was a perfect draw. You can come down here and kill whatever dude he adds to the board. Get the big old Buru. Interesting. I like it. I like it. Oh, Fred. Let's at least put Thresh on the right. I guess there's a world where he has the thing that makes the 2/2/2s. Spirit Fire. We do get to flip our Thresh at the end of the day. Alright, I'm ready. I'm ready to get that Nasus on board. What? We saw 6, didn't we? Oh, we only saw 4. That's close. Those mathematics were close. You just had 4 units on the board, was what happened there.
3 heads and 1 stomach means a lot of eating.
Pretty big hit coming out of this soldier here. And so I don't quite think he's worth a trade, but we don't get the option anyways. Okay. Rip Thresh. Quicksand. This is like the classic reason why I talk so much about the importance of playing things like Hapless Aristocrat. It's like we just don't want to play any of these cards in our hand. I think I'm okay to like Spirit Leech off the Sentinel, because I don't really want to just trade it for the 2/2. I mean, I guess we do get an attack. Like we get to minus his guys when we attack, but not ideal.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up.
And feels kind of sketchy if we don't if we don't keep back the Quicksand. Like if we get reposted here, that's pretty horrible for us. And so we'll hang on to the Quicksand just in case he has a trick or something.
From old Nasus, best kept secret in Shurima.
Okay. What you got for him? Spell shield? Ooh, that's kind of scary if we're counting on this Quicksand to do something. We could burst, if like really needed to, we could burst a Quicksand and then crumble. But I don't think that'll be necessary. The scary thing here would be if he's picked up his Jarvan. Look at him. Look at this guy doing a bunch of stuff we don't approve of. Oh, he doesn't even pick a good unit though. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. Go ahead and get the draw 2 out of our Chronicler. If he has like a golden Aegis or something, that would be slightly awkward, but then I wonder what spell he was thinking of playing, if he's got like a single combat or something. A little suspect. He keeps wanting to drop it. You can do it. If that's what you got, you can do that. I'll allow it. The single combat onto Raz is certainly beatable. Okay. So now we got this big old handful of stuff, but how are we best going to use it? If let's say we just, well, first off, can we just kill him? That's always a thing. What happens if we do this? It doesn't break the spell shield, right? It doesn't. It's not a circled ability, right? So it's not going to do anything to the spell shield. But we can like -4 his team. I don't think we're quite there. I'm looking at, say, like just trying to crumble this big boy, and then we can get in with our Spirit Leeches. Call it a day. Like we just don't need too much to be happening here. I mean, these attacks on their own are just good. Right? We have like an actual million cards in our hand. Let's just grind this game out.
Not worth my time.
There's a Withering Wail to pop the spell shield. I'm looking to just go ahead and crumble the 6/3. We don't even need to do that. Let's just bank the mana. Then on our next turn, I assume he still wants to make like a hook onto Raz, and we can just Vengeance. Oh, well, there's the Jarvan. Either way, that's fine. Demacia. Let's go ahead and pick up the old Thresh Nasus, one or the other. You gotta be like a million by now, right? Yeah, 14s. Okay. You can hit our Thresh. That's fine. Pretty sure we could just lethal this next turn. We can quicksand the champion. Alright, part A of the plan. Kill off the big boy. It's kind of lame. Alright. We'll just say, like, nice top deck, buddy. Better lucky than good. Oh, Jesus. We're short on mana of just beating this. We could... What if we Mask Mother Nasus and make the Mask Mother a 16/16 fearsome? I don't quite like that. What if we come back to this, like, what happens if we could never like shrink up this first blade enough? It feels like we should just have like a, here's what we do. Okay, I got it. It took me a minute. It took me a hot minute to find it. We want to Ruthless Predator here. We want to Quicksand here. There we go. There we go. That's the stuff. Now we can't block our fearsome. Did it. Mark it a W. Get to watch. Oh, we didn't even get to watch that animation. Thresh didn't do any damage. All right. So what do we got? Last Nasus. Ooh, he's got the 1-drop with him as well. The 4-drop, not as exciting, but definitely happy to pick up the 1 and Bakai Reaper. Boom. Stuff. All right, next battle. It's weird. Makes some weird, weird ass ring. Sorry if we just blew out your ears. I thought I did it earlier. I was just gonna blame that on you, but now that I think it's happened a second time, I guess we blame that on me. Whoops. There we go. Or the old Bandle City. What do we got here? Happy enough to start off with the Reaper. Everything else is a little too expensive. After getting trounced by Poppy, I could kind of consider hanging on to Piercing Darkness if we're actually playing against Poppy, but I think we'll get rid of it against Fiora. Quicksand's a great addition against her. The Withering Wail, not that bad as well. Let's just kind of get around a barrier attack if we need to. I dig it. Seems like this might be the first opponent that dropped their phone in the toilet since we last played. Maybe they said, "Oh shit, playing against FTP Bust, better snap a screeny, post it on the Reddit, and then drop my phone in the toilet." I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. Pretty sure. That's the standard reaction when people see the fist bump card back, the FTP Bust name, and then all the premiums coming at him. Nope, he's back. All right. Game on.
You best believe
Awkward curve, but that's what it is. He's only going to get one bird out of this before we have to try and spend 3 mana on a quicksand and then try and deal with them that way. Our bros are fearsome. He's not blocking here. Wonder if he had like a purple berry shake. He kind of stopped and thought about it.
New venue, new money.
This would be really cool if we had a kill spell here.
cook 'em.
So how do we deal with this now? Like, I guess we can let him just keep making the little dudes. Because I mean, if he has a purple berry shake for either one of these, whatever. If he has a riposte, that's even better. That's probably worse. I'd rather not get the trade. But oh, we got both wins. That was juicy. Then we could technically kill off something with the Rite of Calling to give the boost on our guys here. But doesn't look like that's going to be happening. Thresh should be able to contend with anything that can block our dudes now. That's a nice bonus. So let's make an attack like this. We'll put try and get the fight on the right. Hook in the commando. Then he shouldn't be able to block unless he has a riposte type spell.
Oh, I got big plans for this place.
Okay. Sure.
So shiny, it's gotta be
Interesting. He's certainly not winning the race here. Like, we can just ignore the 5 damage off the arena thing. I'm surprised he didn't put the sword onto like onto the bird so that he could get a block next turn. What's max damage we'd take here? It's got 11 coming in with the Tristana and friend. Have you given anything impact yet? She doesn't have impact. When you summon a multi-region ally, grant me and it 1/0 an impact. They recently just switched her around, I do believe. I'm just going to pass it. I feel pretty good about this Withering Whale. It's going to boost up both of our Burus. It's like, oh, I had to play it, and I was like, oh, does this ever just flip our Thresh? Oh, that would have been choice. Not the way that's going to work, but certainly would have been good. All right, now we're free to just open. There's ways out of this. If he has a combat trick to boost his little bird or something, or if he has a buster shot, that'll do it. But okay. Now, do we have the mana? It's like we can both, like, we could pick up a Thresh with the Rite of Calling, which would then turn, excuse me, then turn into a Siphoning Strike. But we don't have the mana for all those shenanigans right now. So now he needs another big boy. All right, well, I'm bringing it. I would, if it comes to losing one of our units to his arena thing, I would rather get a trade as opposed to him getting a quick attack challenge. All right, seems good. We'll hang on to the little bird for now. If we draw like a Crumble or a Spirit Leech or something, or apparently even Cursed Keeper, I would rather have those on board before we just sacrifice this thing off. It's not super high value to be drawing our third Thresh. Lock. you gotta throw it down and say it. That's how you get these things going. Given the amount of passing he's doing, I bet this is going to be going in our favor. Alright, let's siphon him away. Comes the thunder. Give me them Thresh flips. Alright, so we won't lethal this turn, but we're still looking quite strong here. He just gives up on it. Alright. GG, my man.
Patience and fortitude outlast all things.
So what do we got? Not trading out the aristocrat. Don't want the missed call. I could see an argument for getting rid of a Wraith Collar. We're like a 66% chance to get the flip. But I mean, we don't need 4 Spirit Leeches. So let's keep a little variety in our life. And we'll just go ahead and skip over all of these. All right. Round 5 begin. So yeah, how awesome would it be if we just got 220 if the 221 patch came out and Riot was like, oh man, we hired this new expedition lead like 3 months ago. His work is starting to come to fruition, and here you go. All kinds of cool stuff. So stoked. So stoked. I still have those hopes and dreams for Expedition in terms of you can buy in with coins. Like I know that there has to be like a non-zero amount of people out there that spend coins to play with their expeditions. I wish that there was just a change in something to make that more appealing. Like I don't know how many gems we have. We crossed like 250,000 a while ago, but just never have to worry about it. But I mean, if you're new to the game, Limited has classically been a great way to build a collection, and you know, having that option out here would be pretty sweet. We'll see. Let's see. Are we gonna get Porobotted? Getting awfully close. It's been a while since we played the Porobot. I'll go for it. Say, hey, old friend. how I've missed you. Oh, there we go. Opponent has been found. Oh, it's the Porobot. Alright. It's kind of scary. What is this, Draven? Some kind of aggro Draven deck? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's coming right at us. I got a bit of a curve. I'd gladly trade for his Arena Battlecaster if he's up for it. Cool. So if he just goes into next turn and gets like the Battlecaster attack with the challenge, he can kill our dude anyways. So that feels good. See if he sends us. Oh man, he can bomb us here. This is scary stuff, Draven. We just need to not lose. If we can do a don't lose until you win kind of thing, we can try and take this back. It is a real downside having this Spirit Leech in hand, though. Just nothing to do with it. Well, I mean, we have stuff to do with it. We have to kill off our dude to get him down. Unfortunate. Let's see if we can game the system here. Let's pass. He's going to play a unit. Now that he's played a unit, let's attack. Okay. We got what we were looking for. We wanted that unit dead and taking his cards. Now we can add the Spirit Leech. We're going to get bombed by Draven next turn. I mean, this is not good, but we're starting to get stats on board at least. See how bad this is. If we play Thresh, he can just hook it with the thing. Oh no, we'll kill. Okay. Didn't Thresh used to be a 3/5? Am I missing something? Can't Whirling Death. He doesn't have the mana. Okay. Alright. We might have just turned the corner. We have a defensive right of dominance if we need it as well. Ooh, Withering Wail. Okay. I'm feeling better now. Was feeling better. Well, I'll certainly trade Nasus with Darius if you'd like. Oof. Oof. Thanks, friend. So we can open us down to 3. If he has an elixir, we can Rite of Dominance. Ah, fuck. As a second Darius. Nothing we can do about that. I mean, we can add Raz. And he's going to trample for Exacties. He has the Spinning Axe as well. If we play Tortured Prodigy, though, we're a mana short of the Rite of Dominance. Alright, maybe he'll do something dumb.
Never seen a trio like this before.
He did not.
Roll him over.
And the brothers bond for the have-it-alls. Jeez, poor Obat. Nice work. Nice work. Alright. Boo. Worst opponent 2021. What do we got? What's our upgrades? Ooh, Bakai Reaper. Don't mind if I do. Cool. Alright, we improved. Alright. Been bested by the poor Obat. Let's see if we can get this one back on track. We certainly improved, though. The Bakai Reapers is exactly the kind of stuff we're looking for. Trading out a 4 for a 1 is quite nice. That hand's a little expensive, though. Little expensive. So is this one as well. This is our deck's downfall. I mean, we had the 9/4 drops in here earlier. It's certainly not acceptable, but just kind of the way the draft went. What up, friend? Ooh, almost missed that attack. It's getting back into the mix of things and missing the first turn attacks would only be appropriate. You got us, bro. So what do we got? Withering Wail. That's not going to do it. I'm fine enough to just Black Spear this Dark Ball Acolyte. I don't want to just be running our mana too low into the ground here, and so reasonable enough. Counter spells is it's not the end of the world. We're not really searching for the champion here. We're just looking to get some stuff to do with our mana. Biggest of decisions are being made, though. I checked how big this decision was on my decision meter. It's huge. Huge. Game-breaking, one could say. There you go. It has happened. Alright, and then, yeah, all in all, I'm pretty okay with this. It kind of feels like, whoa, Tricksy Tentacles. God, what a brutal hit for us. That was like the best Tentacles ever. The card's so garbage, but just messing up our curve. May not be able to play anything next turn either. Alright. Wraith Collar showing up just at the perfect time. And of course we hit. Remember kids, make your cards premium. Sure.
They've got a ghost of a chance.
Here to block. It's so easy for him to just play a dude bigger than we can deal with. So happy enough with this trade. I just don't want to play like Stirred Spirits and then he's like, here's my random 5/5. It's ultimately a big problem for us. Okay, we'll just let that go. We can start dropping Nasus now. He's probably good chance he's just going to get popped by Vengeance, but we got to get something going here. He is a little small. Maybe we should have played Thresh first so that we could get past a guiding light, whatever the piercing beam is. piercing darkness. There we go. I figured it out. All right. Well, we can't have our siphoning strike get vengeanced. Okay, that's better. Memory serves me right. There's no way for him to get out of this siphoning strike, and I definitely don't want him boosting up the Vagars, or boosting up the darknesses with Vagar. Okay. That sequencing doesn't seem super optimal. What if we do this? What if we, I mean, there is a world where we get to flip our Thresh here, right? Or flip our... Great, if he comes in and takes the trade on our 5/1, then we get the flip Thresh hidden. Okay, so we don't get to slay this way, we just get a ton of damage. That's fine. Oh, that wasn't a slay anyways, oops. I gotta remember how the game works. But we're still looking pretty strong here. I like the way this looks. Just have a pretty big open attack next turn.
Through conflict, we grow. I understand. No.
Ready from a big attack. What can we do? Rekindler. Okay. So awkward set of attacks with this dum Stirred Spirits, but kind of is what it is. Would we rather get another bro in? We have 11 mana. We can add the Safecracker and play a Vengeance. I think I like it.
These little scamps will burn you to the bone.
Oh shit! We failed at basic mathematics against what happened there. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know who's been teaching you all math while I wasn't here, but hopefully they were better at it than I was. Gonna get crumbled? That would be brutal. Yeah. Okay. That's a little on the brutal side of things. We're gonna struggle a little bit to come back in this one now. The lack of damage was not worth it. We would have gotten in for 3, and then still been in a pretty similar space. We wouldn't have had to burn our Withering Wail there either. All right, we might have lost this one. We were going to have a struggle to win it anyways, but we should certainly be in a little bit better spot than we are.
The elements bind the living and the
So now we're going to lose our Thresh. But I say, might have gotten our way out of it. He's going to have to have a fast removal to get out of this one. These were 4 damagers, right? Yeah, it's like, oh man, if we have our Thresh out of this as well. Oh buddy. Oh buddy. Alright, one time dealer. One time. Boom it. No life gain. No vengeances. Fuck. He just drew that as well. That came way out the right side of his hand. Alright, guy. Alright. But not a bad start. Not a bad start for our first video back. We did 7 win the first piece of this. We got that 7 win portion of the draft in on stream. We did that on Sunday. That's over on Twitch, if that's where you would like to see that kind of thing. But nonetheless, we'll claim the full reward here. We'll just say we were giving that guy the win because we knew we were already collecting our 7. And so go us. So that is here. I don't know if there's any other rewards to click on. Looks like there's going to be a few. There's a new reward path out here. So we'll go through that as well as we click on these things. Yeah, I did say at the beginning of the video that I didn't intend on bringing back the expedition helper, but after doing this draft, I kind of feel like I want to do it. If not for you all, just for me, just so that I have access to the to look up what cards are in the various buckets and everything. I've been kind of thinking of a way to make it more visually appealing, and so maybe we'll pull off one of those as well. Yeah, maybe we'll come back and revisit that. The tier list is still good by all means. if Jace isn't in the format anymore or yet, then I guess there was a round of balance changes, but it probably wouldn't affect the tier list that much. Maybe I'll look to bring it back as well. But we'll see. We'll see what the people want and need and say. And maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. It's just that's like the piece that's been so rough for me in terms of expedition. Is it's there's kind of like 2 problems with Riot not really like updating anything. It makes it like a real pain for me to go and make the investment in updating the format. You know, if I have to count on Riot to update the spreadsheet and they don't do it, then it makes it impossible for me to keep the expedition helper up to date. And you got a bunch of people being like, "Hey, Bust, when are you going to update it?" And it's like, well, I don't have any control over that. I have to wait on Riot to update it before I can update it. And so there's that kind of piece of it. But then ultimately, like the big struggle with expedition is if we do look at draft with like Magic, and one color is particularly powerful and strong, right? Then that color just tends to get overdrafted, and so you have kind of a self-balancing format in terms of if too many people try to draft the same color, then it gets weaker. You see this in Teamfight Tactics. You see it in every other draft game that there is. But in Expedition, where you're kind of drafting against the system, the only way to kind of fix the system is for Riot to go in and manually update the buckets, and if they never update the buckets, then the format never gets adjusted, and so that was kind of the downside to it. And so we'll see. Maybe they were just needing a new lead dev for Expedition, and you got to spend 6 months hiring a new one and another 6 months getting them up to snuff and trained and ready to go. So hopefully something along those lines will come around soon. But alrighty, just clicking through all the rewards. I know some people enjoy that kind of thing. See how high we can roll on the reward road, and then we'll call it a day. Platinum chest. Look at that, all them shards. How many shards we got? Last I remember, the last milestone we hit was 250,000, and I kind of forgot if we did anything beyond that. Where are we at? Oh, you can't even see it on this screen. We'll pull it up before this video's done. Okay, maybe it's on the home screen. Oh, we got more loots as well. Yeah, 286,000. Go us. Some random icons or something, and that is gonna do it. So, everybody, well, welcome back you, welcome back me. I hope everyone enjoyed the run. Maybe had a good time watching and learned a thing or two along the way. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.